Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ozfortress Season 20. We're covering the lower page playoffs, Vicious Delicious versus Salt-Free Gaming. I'm Sage. Joining me tonight on the co-cast is my new friend GrumpyKoi. How are you tonight, Grumpy?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful morning for me, and I'm excited to watch some Team Fortress 2.
It's awesome to hear as always. And on production we have the lovely tech wizard Wiethoofd. Now, this is an interesting show. So at the start of the season, I'll clue in everyone watching, there was a huge thing that was like the top two are the only ones who have a chance at, it was like the top two were uncontestable or something. That was like the idea, and then everyone else was fighting for third. And VD, or Vicious Delicious, I'm just going to call them VD because Vicious Delicious is a mouthful, they were also projected to come third. Now, middle of the season, there was an upset, and Vicious Delicious actually took a pretty convincing map off of Madmen, the team that just beat the Source, with a significantly different Madmen roster. And it was shown that VD have huge potential to upset the league, and maybe bring it even further than the projected third. They haven't changed their roster since, and they're sticking with what they've got. And they're up against Salt-Free. Now, Salt-Free have had an interesting season. They've had their ups and downs. And actually, I should also cover this. Salt-Free have been around forever. Like, they've been around for, I think this is their third or fourth season together. And previous to those seasons, a bunch of the players who are currently together were playing under the Team unicycle. And I don't know, like players like Wigan, Dork, Mink, they've all just been around forever, and they've been playing with each other forever. So they've definitely got the chance to bring this forward, and I don't know, maybe give us another upset, especially if they bring their superstar scouts that have been doing great work this entire season.
Well, yeah, that's actually quite interesting because you mentioned the scouts, and I've noticed with the AU sort of playstyle being an EU player is there is a lot more aggressive playstyle. So the scouts do get a lot more play in this sort of division compared to, obviously, the European leagues are a lot more stalematey, and it's a lot more about denying jumpers. But it'll be interesting to see sort of how the scouts play around sort of going in a lot deeper sometimes than they normally would on an EU style game.
Yeah, for sure. The scouts, yeah, I think that the scouts currently are some of the biggest superstars in ozfortress. We had the huge showing from Hertz the other night. It's going absolutely ham and giving us a few...
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
I saw that. That was amazing.
And I'll quickly go over the rosters real quickly. That was a bit of a... But Vicious Delicious are running the same that they've had all season, I believe. They're running Cure and Heeb scouts. Heebs actually was one of the huge turn-up players for the Madmen game that we cast earlier in the season. He did a lot of work on mids, and I think he top-fragged and did a lot of damage in the server. So I'm interested to see if he can bring his game tonight. Because
I've heard a lot of good things about Heebs. He's a fantastic player. He's
a bit of an up and down, but I think that if he turns up, he's going to be a great show. Cure is... again, he's been playing the entire season with them, and they've been switching Heebs around on heals and flank. I believe Cure is on the flank tonight. Cure has had a pretty short Prem experience. He played sub for Xeno, or Xenophobia back season 18 as sub, I think. They came third that season, and then when a couple players left, he resumed the core spotter scout. And I don't remember how they placed, but I remember they had a pretty rough season and didn't do as well as they were projected to do. Shortly afterwards, he joined Vicious Delicious, and he's been doing pretty well, actually. Definitely been showing his skin as a player. And then we have probably, I'd say, the superstar player, in my opinion, at the very least, for Vicious Delicious on Roma as Pause. Now, Pause is a player that I've personally thought is an unbelievably strong player for a very long time, but he never was really on a good enough team to show his skin before, and now he's really doing a lot of work as Roma. I think Heebs was the one who said that they were just playing off Pause when they took the map off Madmen, and he was just doing so much work on mids, just in general. So I'm interested to see what he can bring to the fight. And on Pocket Soldier we have Tay, or Wino. Now, Tay's another interesting player, as he's in the same boat as Cure, as he doesn't have that much Prem experience. I'd say Tay is a very talented soldier, and I feel like his playstyle would actually fit the role of Roma a little bit more. But the way that they've been playing with kind of a deft and scout-centric team, I think the double soldier style that they're running is actually pretty strong. And I'm interested to see what they bring because, hey, like I said, he just not very experienced. I believe he. I don't want to butcher this because I feel like he played a season of Prem before this, and he's going to yell at me when he watches the VOD. But I don't remember what he played or who he played for. I know he played for Damage Inc. for a short period of time. That might have been what he was doing, but I don't know if it was core. And then onto the final two players for Vicious Delicious, we have Deft and Halfwrong. Halfwrong has been Prem Medic for like about 4 seasons now, I think. He played solely for Damage Inc. for 3 before they disbanded last season. And he's... I don't know how to explain it. He's very... Alright, he's the one medic that I know that in ozfortress who is pioneering the meta of picking up mediguns. Everyone kind of forgot about this when it got nerfed and like the Uber drainage stuff was added, but I don't know, man. The amount of times I've seen him pick up like 40% Uber charge because everyone just forgot about it, it's pretty dirty. I think he's a pretty well-rounded gimmick user. I'll just leave it at that. And then we have
nothing
Deft.
wrong with a few gimmicks here and there.
Yeah, AU gimmicks, you know the saying. We have Deft finally running off the roster. Deft is known for his ridiculously strong DM, and I think that at the start of the Season 4 VD, he was trying to find his place on the team. He's another player like Paws who came from Nature Walk predominantly, and he kind of had a weird playstyle on that because of how the scouts did work and how they functioned on Nature Walk. And he's kind of found his playstyle to be kind of more passive recently, I think. I've seen him doing like playing passive, kind of doing the support demo man role, which is uncommon for one, an Australian demo, and two, an Australian demo with the DM that he has. I'm just to see what he can bring forward. And quickly, we'll get back into the Salt Free roster because I took way too much time going through the Vicious Delicious roster. We have Dork and Hyper. And the Dork and Hyper are both the scouts for Salt Free. Dork is... I think I brought it up last time we casted. Dork is so scary when Dork shows up. He has some of the craziest aim and he's such a playmaker when he wants to be. And I'm hoping, because I think that overall the match is skewed towards a more Vicious Delicious sided kind of overall. I think that like they have more chance of winning, and I think Dork showing up could be a huge changing factor towards that. Because I don't know, I think Dork has the potential to shut down both Hebes and Cure if he's on his game. And we have Hyper as well, as I said too. Is actually, I think this is his first season properly playing Prem. He played for kind of the meme team last season that was called like Jermaine, I think. If I'm correct, he might have left. I remember he was on the roster at one stage earlier. But he's come into his own. He's been doing a lot of work on Scout. I've smoked for them for a few times, and yeah, he's been doing a lot of work. And I think that their Scouts are probably their strong point, because they kind of, the soldiers who are about to get into have said that they kind of just make room for their Scouts to go huge. And Catfish and Blanku appear to be soldiers, not Pame. Pame is usually the roamer for Salt Free, but looks like he's not showing up tonight. So we have Catfish, who is a super aggressive shotgun pocket. Now this is the interesting thing about it, is they play around the scouts, but the soldier runs shotgun pocket. It's bizarre to me. So he goes in and eats the little room, takes a 300 buff and walks forward, and then the scouts have to follow him behind and own. But he runs shotgun, and it's a really strange thing. But a very strong DM player, and I don't know, interesting playstyle overall. And then we have Blank. I'm not super knowledgeable about Blank. He's been around for a while, and like I said, has been in the unicycle salt-free gang for seasons now, like probably over 8 at this stage. But I think he's a medic, and he played a lot of medic while Mink was away, but I think he's a demo player, if I'm correct. So I don't know, seeing him on Roma should be interesting. And finally we have Wigan. Wigan is the captain of the team, and he's been around longer than I can remember. He's pretty awesome. And then we finally have Mink on Medic, and Mink is another player who's just been around forever and is a really solid player. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. So I know you're not super familiar with the teams, but if with the over-exaggerated predictions I've given you, what do you reckon the margin will be for these maps?
Well, from what I've been told, and I do know some of the players here and there. Like I've heard of Heaps before. I've seen a little bit of Deft. As I know them more, I think Vicious Delicious VD will probably take the game in a whole. But like you said, with Wigan being quite an old school player, maybe with a bit more of sort of an organisation with that team, they might be able to pull it out. I wouldn't be able to put like a flat prediction on who's going to win just because I don't know the players, and there's always a chance for some players to surprise us, and I always like seeing that.
Yep, I can agree to that. That's a pretty solid statement to make. Like I said, I think that overall I would lean towards a VD win, but I think that both teams have determining factors to their success, and it could go either way if things click correctly for both teams.
For the looks of it, I think Heebs agrees with you, changing his name to Heebs 5-0. I think he's pretty confident with this game.
That's an ancient. I think that's what team was that? That was a team in like season 14, 15. That Heebs played for. What was that called? It was like Fernando 5-0 and the Temple of Roro or something. And that's the tag for that. So I'm assuming he's just getting a throwback tag for the stream. That could be completely incorrect, and he could be tagging up for something completely different. But that's what I remember that tag as. We'll go over the maps really quickly. So the maps, Salt Free started off the season. Started off the picking with banning Prolands. They wanted that out of there. Deft promptly banned Granary, and we were left with the first map of Sunshine, the second map of Snakewater, and the third map of Gullywash. So you have 3 CP maps, and I'm interested to see, because I don't know, Sunshine it's its first season back in quite a while for ozfortress. We broke back in place of Reckoner last season, and I don't know, loads of teams have had struggles adapting to it.
Yeah, no, as someone who plays in the ETF 2L leagues, it's actually been changed from Reckoner as well for us, and it's really weird to adapt to the sort of 3 choke mentality of that map, because you've got cafe, choke, and lobby, flowers. It's really like difficult for a lot of teams to adapt to that much more sort of varied style of pushing. That some maps are very sort of basic, while this one has a lot of options for you.
Yeah, I definitely personally have had a lot of trouble holding second with all the openings for players to break out of. But I definitely do think some teams have adapted to it a lot better, and I have been told that we are going to be live in about 60 seconds, I'm guessing, so this should be underway pretty soon. We can get into our first middle. I don't know, I'm really interested to see how this mid approaches, because with the style that Salt Free do bring to mids as well, like the super forward soldiers and then the scouts to back them up, I reckon Sunshine could really favour this first mid if they're familiar with it. And I believe they actually played I think we saw them play Sunshine against Baguette.
It looks like we're starting.
Yeah, we get to start live. I can't remember actually, so I won't go back to scores on that. I'm going to watch Deft on this first middle, because, I don't know, I'm not super familiar with Sunshine mid, but I think that Deft's influence could definitely sway this mid pretty heavily.
It looks like Wigan's quite slow into flowers, actually.
Yeah, Wigan not known for his rollouts, but he is actually playing flowers, and they've put the whole team through flowers, so that's an interesting play. They've never broken it through. Soldier's back onto Tetris. They've walked over an early soldier kill for a trade onto Catfish. Pause goes down, but Hyper and Blake are going to return in favour. Wigan's going to go down, and it's just going to be a medic and a scout trying to back out without getting killed. And it might be a tough thing to do as Kure just rushes in, but Dork's going to own him. And, oh my god, Dork could pick up. Oh my god, Dork uses the scouts with heals. Like I said, Dork is just such a playmaker, and he just slaps both scouts.
That was quite interesting, because that flower push was obviously clearly to catch them off guard, but because they were faster to mid, they had all the high ground and they just spammed them out of flowers, picked up players, and I'm surprised that the med and the scout got away, to be honest. That could have gone a lot worse for Salt Free there.
For sure. The Ubers have stabilised, and it should give them a bit of room to at least hold them. So it's just actually going to flowers. Kill's going to be a bit forward to try and put these players back, but yeah, I don't know. Both Scouts dying there, trying to get onto the medic and failing really has really stopped any aggression from the side of VD, and we're going to see a good old-fashioned stalemate. But it looks like Soldiers are looking to break this. They sink forward and jump onto Dork. This is a really nice synchro bomb straight into the flank scout. And we might see Tave sack in or something, or maybe pause. Tave's actually through. I think they're looking to push up this player ad. They haven't Ubered yet. Oh my god, they're getting absolutely owned and choked. They haven't Ubered just yet. After trying to hold on to it,
they're really milking that.
Yeah, they finally pop it off, even though they got owned and choked. And we've kind of traded pause for nothing. His Dork has just respawned, and they need to get something in the super. Deft is going to pick up Wigan, who's too far forward on grass. Deft's forward, and he's not dying just yet, but he's very low. Blank's finally going to clean him up. Yeah, they're losing this slowly, but they've got the hideout and could make it work if they play it correctly. Heebs is on very low health. He's going to be taking heals, and Blank's going to be trying to back up on top of the medic, but he's going to run straight into Heebs, and Heebs is not going to play in the fag. He's going to get killed himself by Hyper, who's behind him. Now it's half wrong versus 2 scouts, and he's going to get cleaned up. Sadly, they did lose Mink in that fight, the medic, but they did more than enough to probably reach this middle. But Hyper's actually 1v1ing Paws on the point as I say that, and Paws is going to get cleaned up by a pipe of Wigan. This is kind of messy, to be honest. That
was just a messy push from blue team. They managed to get the kill really early on the med, but they didn't manage to protect their own med, and they've actually lost ad because of it. Looking at a 40% ad to salt free at the moment.
Definitely.
Well, more like 30 now.
6 in the wall of the point. They're just trying to hold this even with their Uber disadvantage. They do not have the Uber just yet, so it's just a useless number until they get it, which is going to be cemented as they just lost 2 players and their medic is still in. They finally just seem to back up Dork, not being able to connect 2 shots on the flank scout who is pressuring him. They're going to hold onto this mid-fight at least for now. And I'm willing to
gone into Flowers looking to bomb in.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to get straight into the medic here. They're not looking to overcommit. He knows that if he jumps in, he's likely going to get denied by the 2 scouts that are sitting there. Pause forward actually could get cleaned up. He's going to back out just on 11 HP. He's going to get out of choke. Just playing with his life there. And the Uber is up, but Half-Wrong is building now, and I don't think Assault Free are ready to pop this out. And they're just going to play another stalemate.
Yeah, it looks like the Evers are going to equal out now. It's really interesting that Vicious D really like to get control of Flowers, make sure that they have that option to them to push out.
Yeah.
It looks at the moment that we are just in a classic stalemate though.
I think that soldier bomb, like the double onto the scout there, was really clever, and I think that the soldiers' playstyles of Paws and Tay are really going to lean towards the openness of like the Flowers jumps and stuff. They are forward on Cafe here. Tay meeting with Catfish. Kind of just, I think he's seeing if he can get a good Uber or maybe spam them back. Traps are cleared, so they're actually going to be able to walk through. Wigan's not spamming the angle, so but Paws is going to clean up on the flank, and so is Cure, who goes for the pack and misses it. And that should open them up to, looks like they're going to break through Cafe.
Yeah, that 2-player disad's going to really affect Vicious D. They're probably going to lose this mid, or at least start losing players if they don't get out quick enough.
Man, they've done a really nice repush here. They Uber, which is really questionable. I reckon that's a wasted Uber charge. I think it was a bad call by the medic. They get forward regardless, unless there was a force that I missed. Half-Wrong's going to Uber forward, and with their forward spawns, this is a really good opportunity for the VD repush. They're going to rush over the point with both scouts. Both scouts actually getting onto one player and failing to connect the shots, and Wigan, I think, was doing really good jobs of mulching the unbuffed player on the side. They're kind of just dancing around the point here, and VD are in a really awkward position. Wigan is going to recap the point with Hyper, and they're going to start backing this out of choke. It looks like they're not wanting to fight this. Deft actually might be caught in. He gets most of them from choke.
Very good serve from Deft there, getting away.
Yeah, Wigan's actually going to jump, and he's not going to give them any room to breathe. He goes to the shutter, and Heebs is rushing him now, but Heebs takes a lot of damage. Huge balls from Wigan right there.
That was so aggressive. He could have easily got caught out by a scout and a soldier, or 2 scouts. There does seem to be a lot of 2-scout plays going on with the red team, kind of really focusing on using them both just to whittle down players.
Yeah, their coordination so far has been a pretty good tale for how their success has been in these repushes.
There's a lot of focus on these repushes from them.
Yeah, Cure's up on Sniper with his overhead, and if they give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. Cure's a very competent sniper, as most players are at this level, and he's just going to look like to take right and maybe get a buff. I don't think they've pulled him out yet, but it looks like Wigan's just seen him. So any picks he gets now are probably going to be on the side of Soul Free, because... Oh no, but they're breaking left. He doesn't any impression. It looks like Dork's probably going for a sack to come up Sniper. See if they try and take a counter sack or a trade in with their sniper. It looks like they're just going to look to edge him left, but they're going to trade a soldier for it. And Cure's going to miss his shot, and he's going to end up in the left as well. This is really disastrous. Soldier dying there's going to leave them.
It's 2 for 2 at the moment, but the replayers come back. He didn't come back on sniper though.
Yeah.
He went for that sack, but he didn't come back.
It looks like when they got the picks, they didn't want to lose. They don't want to play it with the sniper flank. He's going to try and get in straight onto the medic, but he's going to. Oh, he's still going to get the force. Half-Wrong, they're playing a really awkward, like, I don't know, it's a bit of a easy pop, to be honest. He only got 1 rocket and then Half-Wrong was spooked, but They're gonna play mid now with even Uber charges, and we'll see what they end up pulling here, because we're back at the second and mid stalemate. They're forward in flowers actually, they're already getting forward. VD are gonna get mulched though. Wiggins is gonna walk forward onto Tay. Wiggins is gonna clean it up by Deft himself though. Deft is spamming and saying all these players back, and the damage is absolutely phenomenal. Kira is actually owning these players forward. He's not getting kills, but the damage on the Soldier and Scout has been a huge tail to success, and they're gonna pick up Blank at the same time. It's 2 players up for the side of red, and they're gonna be keeping the momentum going.
Blank did look like he was, Blank or Catfish, I didn't quite see, did look just sack for med, just go over everyone else as they pushed forward. Shame he didn't connect really.
Dork actually won a fight, a 1v1 with Cure on the point forward there, so this should give them, if they wish, a little bit of room to fight. Even the Ubers are slightly disadvantaged. Oh my god, Catfish doesn't hit the midi, and Halfrong hits his arrow, so that's going to mean Death's going to be surviving on the point. We both got the Uber charge up, but without Wigan, without Blank, and without Dork, this is going to be a last hold with a 3-player disadvantage that I'm sure VD are not going to let slip.
They look like they're going lower right now, and I think they're going to probably Uber in nice and early.
Yeah, they've Ubered early onto Daft, and Soldiers are just trading it. They've traded out this Uber, maybe they're looking to, they lose pause, so maybe they're looking to just back out, but still kind of order lobby here. They're backing, they're kind of playing second. I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do. They're just building here. It's like they want to hold this and maybe try and get an Uber up.
It's interesting not to see an off class on this equal right now from Salt Free. It might necessarily be a good time unless they're looking to push as soon as possible.
Halfrong's crossbow building here. So I think the play here was they were gonna rush in, make the medic Uber, get out, and then crossbow build to an advantage that they could repush with, which is an interesting strategy.
And I do apologise, Dog has just gone sniper, so my previous statement was invalid.
Dork is a pretty spooky sniper, and if they give him room, he's gonna be called out early, so that should nullify any aggression early. But the crossbow build has given them a little bit of advantage. It's 10%. They try and dot push straight onto the medic, and it's gonna work. Didn't he? It's straight on, and it looks like Halfrong's going. He's gonna do it. Yeah, I told you exactly. He grabbed the medic gun, and now he's on 60% after Ubering. That's ridiculous. And even if this last push doesn't go on, he's got a huge Uber advantage. It's 2v2 with heals. Soldier versus medic. Soldier demo. Ugh, it's demo versus medic. Halfrong's gonna get out even though he's on 50. He's not connecting the crossbows, and it looks like he's looking to back out. But Halfrong picked up 80% off Mink. Good game mechanics.
That's really impressive because that was a 96% drop from Nick. I do apologise. I forgot the name of the Mick. I do apologise.
Mink. Mink. Yeah. Alias is JNA, but with the Uber up, I'm guaranteeing that if you don't expect them to have Uber already, they're going to be pushing straight down to the right side with this Uber charge. They've got the sniper, so they might be forced to pop early. Although Halfrong's big balling it onto the point with his Soldier and his Demo. He's kind of giving it only on Deft right now. The flashes are a bit weak. They're finally playing off Hyper, and their phase are going their way. This should be the last point if they play correctly, and they are going to get the cap. I don't know, if I was on the other side and I wasn't aware of Uber pickups, like, I'd be so, like, how did they just get Uber? Like, they were, I don't know, man. I'm not for the Uber pickup mechanic. I think it's pretty silly. But
well, it messes up your ability to count Ubers.
Yeah. And they're gonna be forward. It's kind of different mid this time. They're not doing the flower strategy. Although it seems Blanky is holding onto the flank. Cavish doing to flap a fake bomb to a real bomb, and he's going to clean up pause on the height. It's an interesting play. And even though low health is on the side of the Soldiers for Salt Free, it looks like the mid is going their way. They're walking forward. They're going to kill Halfrong.
The med does go down.
Losses up. They just need to not lose Mink here, and they should have this last at least to lobby. But Tay is in cafe, and it hasn't been called out, so he could get onto the medic potentially. And he's going to walk up, and he's going to jump. Oh, they haven't seen him yet. Mink's going to hit a really nice surf. Oh, the rocket's going to come out. She doesn't force. 32 health. Oh, not that she had the option to force. She was only on 96%. I reckon that's like the awkward grounds. I might have. That
mid fight was really interesting, though. The two soldiers on Tetris made it really sort of interesting to see that fake bomb actually work and separate those soldiers, making them easy to be picked up, and kind of lost them that mid fight for VD.
Sure. Mink is up on an Uber, and it looks like they're going left side. There's no sniper to deal with, but there is a pyro that could easily make this Uber awkward, and with a solo on a soldier, the pyro is going to make this a big nightmare. Uber is fading although the picks are starting to go their way, they picked up Hebes. Cure is up on a sniper who has picked up Cure. The health is not in the favour of VD. Cat is coming out. No one can block it right now. They could just cap this up. No, Soldier, Cat is going to get another point. Soldier comes forward and the Cat could come out. Yeah, they can't block it. And that's a good return thread quickly from Softfree.
It was a nice quick round there. They took all their advantages and they just pushed all the way through.
For sure. I want to see what Pause is going to be doing on this middle, because I've not seen much of Pause so far this map, and I definitely think that he's probably, I don't know, I was expecting he's going to be probably going somewhere cafe or left side and waiting for an opportunity to get in, if I'm correct, but yeah, he looks like he's staying on the roof side. Got a good vision to mid here, so he gets forward into his flowers and he sees an opportunity to jump in. He's going to get straight onto the players, he gets onto Catfish, but he's not going to connect his rockets, he's going to bounce off the height. He's just going to try and take a crossbow. I think the players are all so hurt on both sides of the mid. Halfling's on 50 health, just trying to not eat spam. Dork's going to die behind Hut, and they're going to re-push with VD players. Even though their health's so bad, this could easily go backwards.
Wiggins cornered right now, he goes down, I think the med's going to go down as well. That was a really disastrous mid-fight. They just completely screwed up their positioning there.
Yeah, Cure actually went pretty huge at last second. They just rushed the players. I think he realised that their health was awful and just got a quick 3k demo medic and scout, I think. Now it's a full Uber disadvantage for Salt-Free on last. Looks like they're getting hyper up on the engineer. And yeah, we'll see if they can get... I don't know, Blank does look to be playing... Blank does look to be playing for a force, but he's going to get a lot lower when he gets called by Deft.
I think during that mid, I think Wiggins should have got him and his med out much earlier than that. They should have seen that they were dropping players and have left much quicker.
Yeah, they're going to come back forward. Blank is going to get caught a bit close to the flank. Pyro's going to be trying to deny this Uber. Pyro on left, and he's not being killed. He's just not hitting his shots. It finally dies. They've gotten 3 kills. Pause is going to bring up 2 players up, Catfish and Hyper. Looks like it's still going their way, regardless of the weird Pyro failure. But yeah, 2-1 and pretty quick round.
The problem with that as well is that sentry gun placement didn't really stop anything. It was just immediately denied and taken out. I think if that was able to stay alive a bit longer, it would have actually helped them defend that last point. Definitely. Does look like Def's going to be quicker in.
Yeah, Wigan on pretty awkward health out in this mid. He did get there a bit faster though this time. 80 health, still not being healed. Finally takes heals forward, but the aggression is going to clean him up early. He was on such low health for ages, and I think Paul's noticed it. No, it's just kind of awkward. It looks like Salt-Free don't like their position on mid and they're trying to back out, but it's going to be 4 players, and Blank is likely going to die forward in Cafe if he's unlucky. But yeah, they're just backing it out 2 seconds, which is where they're probably going to hold this and try and find an opening to really push mid. No off classes that I can see either. So yeah, I think we're just going to see another stalemate. And so far, most of the stalemates have been broken by VD. I hear people laughing. What happened? Oh, Tay apparently tried to pick up an Australian rocket spawner.
Pause goes in for the sack and absolutely gets denied by Salt-Free with a nice little air shot from his opponents.
Yeah.
I didn't see him got the air shot.
Sack, I think. Yeah, that was the counter sack, and Paul's actually going to be up a lot sooner. There was a bit of a delayed counter sack, which means that they're looking to go a bit forward into Cafe, but I think Dork has called it, which means Wiggins going to rotate and try and give them hell for pushing. They're going to actually Uber straight on, and they're not going to flash Hebes in. So this is actually a decent Uber, especially because they've gotten right behind, but Halfling's taking the Uber off. He's going to surf, and he's going to get caught on bats. He's in a really awkward position. He needs to meet up with the soldier. Pause is there, but he's on extremely low health. Oh my god, Halfling is DMing. That was bizarre. Alright.
That was just like a DM mix. There was just no coordination in any of that. Everyone was so separated from each other.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, they kind of Ubered in and then it just turned into, a deathmatch server. But they're going to pick up this last with any contention, probably? Yeah.
That started as a basic Uber exchange, and then both Tay and Halfrong just moved all the way to second point, and things just started going crazy from there. It was it's quite interesting to see.
Yeah. No, I think the flank just started brawling the other side's flank, and it was just a bit of a mess. But we need to see another good Salt-Free mid here for them to clinch these rounds out. But 30 minutes, and it's more than doable. But yeah, we need to see something.
Salt-Free doing the flower rollout again.
Well, it worked the first time, didn't it? If I'm
no, yeah, it was more of a sort of a mutual. Everyone left.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Hardwrong actually on. You're gonna get cleaned up from Blank, who's gonna get behind. Tay and Heebs are the last ones up, and they're gonna be trying to get onto Mink, but it's just Tay to try and do it now. Tay's gonna be in. He's gonna get straight onto it, but no, he's not gonna connect the rockets. It's been 90% on Mink to probably take this last hold. Kuro up on the engineer trying to stand the last hold stuff up, but I don't know. We'll see what they bring this forward, because their Ubers have been a bit awkward, but they've been semi what am I thinking? Been semi strong. They've been doing their job, so it looks like they're moving right. They see the sentry early, which is good, that they don't just walk straight into it.
The sentry goes down instantly.
Sentry down, and they've got a heavy behind point, so they need to. They could take a lot of ground with this Uber, but Heeb's actually up on the sniper now, so that's a bit of a harder thing to do. He's still on the sniper as well. He's not backing up to spawn to get on the scout. He's not going to hit his shots either. He's going to get off now, but Mike's going to finally pick up Tay. That's 2 picks, both utilities, but they've still got an overhealed pause that's heavy. It's just Heebs now versus 4, and that's going to be the round. They lost both utilities there at the start, and then their only hope was the pause heavy, which didn't come through.
Yeah, the problem with the pause heavy though is he wasn't able, as he was the roamer, he wasn't able to deny any sort of space on the left side, and that's why Def got taken down, is because Def wasn't able to obviously cover all angles as demo. And he went down, and it just meant that they had no sort of area denial of the point.
Definitely. Def's forward on left this time. Paul's actually they're taking left on this mid, both kind of mirroring each other. Nothing's really come out so far. Soldier's up on a height. Paul's is actually going to get straight into Catfish. He's going to get very low. He's going to die. Yeah, he's going to get crated actually. Paul's on 75 health, but causing havoc. Now players are going to be rushing onto Wigan, who's not going to die just yet, but he's going to go extremely low. He should get cleaned up by a soldier, and Mink could go down here too. Mink is going to die to Tay, and that's going to be just Dork and Hyper versus 4 players, but they're going to combo straight on. Look, they get on the half row, they force it. That's the perfect play that they made, and we're going to see a pause. I don't know, Hyper and Dork have just been absolutely fantastic so far. Like, they combo really well with each other, and they've been jumping onto the same players. Like, they think the same, or they're communicating really well to do the same things. Jumping straight into the scout, and then walking straight in to get the force. Hyper should just die here, but getting the force means that they're going to be able to maybe recontest second, so... Or at least not get Ubered on top of it last.
It's really interesting because a lot of this game at the moment has just been a lot of repushes sort of successful that have really turned some rounds around. Obviously there's been the classic sort of mid all the way through, but it's nice to see that some people are taking their advantages that they get and pushing through with them.
Yeah, for sure. We have... Wait, sorry, I'm getting messages from people. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting, I think it's Yorch, yeah. Yorch is giving me some information that Dork might be a bit strong on Sunshine, as he's informing me he got 39 kills in 15 minutes in a scrim on Sunshine earlier in the season. And I think that explains a little bit to how Dork is owning pretty much everybody in these 1v1s, but they're going to pop out this Uber. The flames will be up very shortly. They're going to be walking straight into second, looks like. Oh, okay, no, I'm telling you, I'm also getting messages that it was an official that happened in 39 kills in 15 minutes. That's brutal. How is that impossible? It's ridiculous. But players, what in lobby here, they weren't able to take second. It was around the same, and Hyper up on the engineer in a really interesting sentry position, actually. That's a bizarre sentry position. I've never seen this before. It like watches under, but could he get spammed from under? I don't know. Weird. Anyway, it's not a big deal, but I don't know. I think they're just trying to get overcharged and decided what they do. Dork on the sniper at last for room to make some room and maybe get a quick pick. Then he's seen them in lower lobby and he could dome one of them. I don't know if he got called out there, but I was actually going to move up upper lobby to try and take room of the flank. Blank trying to contest him, but they're starting to take lobby. I think they've realised that it's not super contested. I don't know what they're doing. They're kind of just holding on second, maybe waiting for a sack or something, or they could just be parking the bus a little bit, to be honest. They don't... Oh, this actually might be when... Yeah, this might have been when the pause... Yeah, okay, I think someone timed out there or something. Anyway, Soldiers is going to get in lower, that's pause and Cure, but they're both going to denied by the really weird sentry position. Pause should get out a lower, but Cure's going to die. I might give him some room to come up, sniper or spy or, I don't know, even heavy, who knows, Australian TF2, anything can happen. But,
well, if they do the sniper play, they could try and force him through lobby or lower and see if they can get a pick onto the on Mink, and that would be a nice pick. But they have gone for the spy pick instead with Cure. I'm going to be watching this because this could turn out to be something rather interesting.
Alright, I don't know. Cure's a good friend of mine personally, and I'll be real. Cure sucks at spy, so get ready for some Cure beef. He's gonna get.
Well,
yeah,
he
I
is
think he just
behind. I
got
think
called
he
out
got
immediately.
spotted. I got called out so quickly.
I don't know. Interesting play. He's more inclined to snipe. I don't know if he's just going spy for the stream, but yeah.
It looks like he just wasn't. He just wasn't patient enough, and he kind of peeked right after it decloaking, and I think the med just looked straight at him and saw it happening. It does look like they are taking lobby though, looking to push with Halfrong at the pack at the moment.
Yeah, they could just be taking the forward hold. Cure's up here on the sniper, so I think likely they'll push straight away. Probably just gonna try to take some room for their sniper to get an angle. Dork's actually on the left here, getting forward, and Heaves is there to punish him possibly. No wait, Cure's not on the sniper, he got him down, I'm an idiot. So yeah, maybe they might be trying to do something. I know there is a thing that they could do where they could, I don't know, if you can kill the utilities here. Oh my goodness, Mink just gets absolutely destroyed by
med down, that's the drop. They can push in now.
Play. Yeah, if they butcher this last, like the only thing that can stop this is maybe the sentry, which hasn't gone down yet, and it's denying a lot of room for the players to upgrade. I think it finally does go down, and players are going to be jumping all over the point. Tay's going to hit that shot off the Catfish. That's going to be another round. 4-2 in the favour of Vicious Delicious with 7 minutes to go. Yeah, I think we're getting time. They haven't paused, but he's rejoining the server, so they're not going to have a demo man for this mid. They might just set up on second, which is like the standard thing that people have been doing when they lose these players on rollout. And are they contesting mid? No, yeah, they're just going to second and chilling out.
I think Dog's going to see if he can do something in a cafe, maybe catch players coming round. I know, it's just a basic hold.
Oh, no.
What we'll see a lot from VD, I've noticed, is they really like having flowers as an option for them, so they may try and deny that space again.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Like, actually did trade with Tay, I believe, forward in cafe there. So I think they're just trying to see an option. Paul's actually doing a good job of knocking people around in these chokes. Now Cure's actually forward in cafe, getting 1v1, but he wins! Cure just turns it around, beats Hypo, who does plus forward onto him. And that's going to maybe give room for Paws to enter, and that seems to be what is going to happen. Paws forward up on the fence, just kind of deciding where he wants to go. Heebs is going to dive forward though. It might prompt them to relax a little bit on this push. Looks like Catfish is trying to re-push. He's going to get straight into Halfrong, they're going to get the force. And now they're going to re-Uber onto Catfish. That's a good exchange, but Dog's also going to pick up Cure, so this is really bad for VD. As Paws also dies, and Tay is finally going to get a return frag, but it's a little too late. They're going to probably play back on Choke here. No, they're looking to contest this, even Ubers. Yeah, so he gets forward all the way into flowers.
VD are leaving. Oh. Yeah. World Blankers Blank does get spotted out. That would have been a good opportunity to dive onto the med and maybe kill some of the combo as well.
Oh, Blank kills
he gets
two
the
there.
cow.
I think he killed Tay early, and then when he was rushed, he won the fight with Heebs. Now this is a good opportunity for Saltfree to take it without having to deal with Uber charge. Catfish is going to get forward onto the blades. Catfish is no fear, man. He just jumps and hopes for the best. Now with the Ubers, it looks like they're looking to... Well, Catfish looks like he might be trying to take lobby control. Oh, no. I think they're just deciding on what they want to do, and we do have Cure back on Sniper, so... Not super effective, no huge Sniper plays so far, to be honest. Just kind of holding it last, waiting for someone to peek, and nobody really peeks, from what I can tell.
I think a lot of the teams are now just using Sniper as sort of a presence thing to deny areas, because they're getting called out so quickly that they're not actually able to get any sort of change in picks. The Uber does come off left side. The exchange does happen. Dog's in lower, looking to see if he can get some time on point, maybe.
Yeah, he's kind of... there's huge extent expand.
Gets
Heaps have been traded. He's going to finally find Catfish, but Heaps is going to go and return. So is Wheeler, and so is Hyper. Fish does seem a little bit botched. There's no one... Are they actually fighting? This looks like they're trying to go under. There's no way this works. Yeah, he gets caught up by two soldiers. He's going to get onto the point with the pain train. No way!
Oh, no way!
Oh my goodness. There's no
That
way.
That was so close. Maybe you say Dog's a god on this map. He might be able to. Oh no.
Oh, it was close. The Dodgers were not leaving the point there. There's no chance in hell. And the Caps are going to slowly fade. Catfish forward here. Probably is going to get cleaned up. If the Scats do forward him, that is going to happen. Not unable to escape. Hyper is behind. They're blocking the point, but it's a bit late. Now he's just going to be a bit out of water. He's going to be behind though, so he does have room to move around. Tay's going to take the fight in the middle of his 1v1. He's still going to win it, Tay. Awkward position there. Now he's going to fight with Paws, and Paws is going to return the frag. And they're going to take mid off this. I don't know, man. This has been pretty back and forth so far, and I don't know. They do need to crunch these rounds out. They have 3 minutes. For this to go well, they kind of need to maybe hope they could get a half wrong drop. That could change things around very big. And it looks like they're trying to break forward. I think they thought half wrong might have been a choke, and that's what they were going for, was the drop onto the medic. And they're going to break forward with the players going down for both sides. Cure getting a trade for 2 players. And the health is so bad for Salt Free, as they're just going to try and set up on last.
No, I think what they're looking for is they were looking, like you said, to get that drop and repush, because the repushes from Salt Free have not been too bad during this game. But it does look like it might get cleared up onto last. The medic did Uber during that whole exchange though. You got forced, so you never know. No, I think they've got the point now.
This is looking really bad, and that's going to be a round, and that's going to probably be the end of this. I don't want to speak too short, but I think that is impossible for the comeback for Salt Free. Pretty good showing, but I think overall Vicious Delicious bringing in those last pushes way more successfully than Salt Free really made the difference overall. They were doing a lot more focus fire, and I think a lot of
is a lot quicker into mid as well, so they do look like they can stable this. If they win this mid, I do honestly, same with your decision, it's going to be a win for Vicious Delicious at that point.
They have actually picked 3 players now down for Salt Free. Tay has got
med down. It's just Hyper and Dog left.
They could do something. Dork is trying to 1v1 Cure. I don't know. Dork might just go for stats here and try and get some flashy plays. We're just going to hide in flowers and hope someone aggresses him. Which doesn't appear to be something that's going to happen, so... Oh no, Cure's going to go into... I'm going to see how this fight goes down between the two. He checks for it straight away, but he doesn't connect the shot, and they're just going to back up and ignore each other. But this could be another round for Vicious Delicious. There's no comeback possible for Salt Free, but we could see some more rounds come out. Depth forward with heals onto Plateau. He's going to get aggressed by a soldier who isn't going to successfully force half and half from successfully surfing back onto Cafe side. And they're just taking the second point slowly. But they have the supercharge to aggress with, and I'd be interested to see if they could just try and take this under, maybe? They haven't been called just yet, and the players so far in lobby could just absolutely mince anything if they just walk straight into last, and it looks like they're not prepared for this. They forgot Untitled existed. They're finally backing up right, but they've taken a lot of ground. It's heaps forward and not getting uber flashed or anything, hopping a bit far back.
They ubered in so deep there. They've got such a huge advantage during this last push.
Yeah, they didn't clinch another round. I don't know, that was a bit awkward. Heaps got super far forward and just disconnected from his medic and did die, but Deft, while they were shooting him, Deft just absolutely lost them. And 6-2 already off scoreline, and I mean, there's time for one more round, so we'll see what they do on this mid. Because like you said, Deft beating way into these mids and shutting off areas earlier has been a pretty big determining factor. But yeah, just kind of sad and stuff. They've kind of mirrored each other. Deft, their Cafe side, Wigan the other side of Cafe. But so he's going to get forward onto height now. A super aggressive place, and he's straight onto medic, and he's going to die immediately. It's going to be Catfish, Wigan, and Hyper all dying at the same time. It's a really disastrous mid for Salt Free. Tay sees the scout. He knows that he's in behind, but do they know that he's there? What the hell? He's just crouching behind the thing. Dog's finally getting in, and he's going to clean up Heaves? No, he's going to beef his last couple shots, and with 13 seconds left, it's probably going to be all she wrote. But oh no, they're going straight to last. I mean, they could get this. Halfling's going to die, and that's going to be Death versus the world. Tay's going to jump the point. Can he get onto anything? He's going to get on the point. Nah, the timer is going to run out before they can clinch the last round. I will safely say that I reckon that was going to go their way regardless, but a good game overall. I think that 6-2 doesn't look like a super close scoreline, but overall they were putting up a pretty good fight. I think the rounds, just like the last pushes, were the contributing factor overall for Vicious Delicious.
It was incredibly interesting to see that sort of back and forth play that was happening. Like, I know, like you said, the scores are good 4 apart, but there were some moments where Salt Free did do some really good repushes and took advantages when they saw them, which is quite nice to see.
I'm going to bring up the logs just real quick so you can get a good idea of what was happening behind the scenes statistically. The first thing I see looking at the logs actually is a lot of damage coming out from Deft, pretty significant compared to the rest of the server. He's the only one the only one who gets to the 300 DPM mark and goes a bit far beyond it as well, compared to Paws, the second highest on around 276. Now, the one thing I'm noticing actually is to overall the entire server, they're pretty close in terms of stats. Like, it's a decent even spread. Both scouts on both teams seem to do about the same. Kieran Heaves falling a bit short in frags compared to the others, but the damage stats are around the same. The only two people I'm noticing might have had a harder time are Wigan, Catfish going 8 to 22, and Wigan going 9 to 20. And the 200 DPM is not what you're aiming for as Demo Man. Because Wigan kind of had a harsh time, I reckon, on those mids.
Well, there was a good 3,000 difference between the demos in damage, and I think that showed a lot of sort of the mid fights and a lot of the area denial for the blue team. Vicious Delicious was just a lot stronger than what Salt Free was able to bring out, and especially during the mids, they lost mids due to the fact that they just weren't denying those areas as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was actually, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, like I think a huge overall thing might have been damage. Like, looking at this team stats, even though the frag and stuff seem pretty like around the same, there's about a 6,000 damage gap between the teams, and I think that could be relative to Paws and Deft doing so much work on mid and those last pushes. I mean, like, the winning team's almost always going to have a bit more damage, but the 6,000 gap, considering how back and forth it was a bit surprising to me.
No, it was. It was quite interesting to see, sort of, especially Dog was taking a lot of fight really well during that game, and he I think he did a 2v1 at one point, getting healed, and it was you can tell it's one of his stronger maps, being the second most damage on his team. Obviously not keeping up with the rest of Vicious Delicious, but Dog did play really strong. Like you said, it does seem like a strong map for himself.
Yeah, he definitely was showing up, and I think the major thing was both teams were doing really well. Blank was doing a decent job as Roma, and so Paws was doing absolute magic, but I think the hugest difference in both teams is probably the Wigan to Deft stuff, is that Deft was doing so much and Wigan wasn't keeping up. And overall, I think that might have been the contributing factor to the overall success for Vicious Delicious. But I don't know, I think that Snakewater, honestly, Snakewater I reckon will be a favoured map for Vicious Delicious over Sunshine. I feel like Sunshine, I think it was Salt Free's pick. I'm just going to go confirm that real quickly, but I'm 90% sure it was.
If we still have time, I'm going to quickly just have a look at the medic logs for the game at the moment.
Yeah.
Seeing that there was one drop out of Minx. The healing was not too far apart. Obviously, an extra 3,000 from Half Wrong.
Yeah, I mean, what was the kill to deaths? Oh my god, yeah, actually, Mink was dying a lot compared to Half Wrong. Double the deaths of Mink to Half Wrong.
Well, I wonder if the average time to build is actually affected by the pickups of the mediguns.
Maybe. That would be interesting. Who knows?
Because
I know the logs were definitely made, that log was definitely created before Uber pickups were a thing, but that's interesting to think about. I don't know. The two people I've ever seen even bother with the Uber pickup stuff is, like, I saw Nursey do it ages ago, and I've seen Alpha do it, and I don't know, it's like a huge thing that loads of people just disregard it, but situationally, it's game breaking. Honestly, I think everyone can who just saw Half Wrong pick up like 80% after Ubering in and just walked out. It was just brutal.
I'm literally, after this game, I'm going to make a bind so that I can pick up mediguns quickly, because that looks so powerful. That's like
Oh yeah, I think hopefully it might be changed to Pyroraptor. Who knows? No crossplay building is being changed, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I did check while we were doing logs. Sunshine was Saltfree's pick, so that means that they lost on their preferred map. And I can definitely see why it was their preferred map. A lot of players did come into their own on that map, but this is the preferred map of Vicious Delicious. I want to see how they approach this, and I don't know. So Saltfree banned Pro Lands, and that could be because they don't know how to play Pro Lands or they hate Pro Lands. But at least talking from the players I know of Vicious Delicious, I don't think they're a fan of Pro Lands either. So it might have been a bit of an awkward awkward ban to have used. I reckon in the position of Saltfree, I definitely would have banned the map that Vicious Delicious beat Madmen on, and that would have been Snakewater. So, but I don't know. Who knows the situation? Like, there's other contributing factors. I think we're just waiting for Dork to get in the server again because he's not in just yet. I'm just checking my live in real time just now, real quick. Yeah, not just yet, but hopefully we get in soon. And I don't know. Pause is going to be the one to watch on this map because Pause is a wizard at Snakewater Roma.
Well, Roma's very, very strong on this map. There's a lot of opportunities for the Roma to get in and deal a lot of damage with bombs, and there's a lot of really nice sort of connecting jumps on this map. You can go through from Saw all the way into lobby if you're comfortable enough, and it'll be really interesting to see these players kind of use that as much as possible. It's a really fast-paced map, so hopefully there'll be a lot more sort of repushes, and I do think if this is Vicious Delicious's pick, it does look like it is going to sway their way. But you never know because we've just had an upset already. So
yeah, for sure. We could see a third map. The third map's Gullywash, I believe, and I don't know. Gullywash I think it was Saltfree's pick. Gullywash is an interesting pick to have. I think my team at the start of the season played them and lost at Gullywash. It was extremely close. I don't know. Interesting pick for them. I'm not sure the minds of Saltfree, and I don't know what maps they believe they're great at, but I don't know. I think that I don't know. I really the pick of Sunshine. If that was like you obviously want to pick your best map as your first pick, but I don't know. I think if that was their best map, they're gonna have a lot of trouble coming into this because this is Vicious Delicious' best map, and losing 6-2 on your pick is kind of awkward. But I've seen. I think it was Asia Fortress when I was casting that. The picks went the absolute wrong way. Like the teams that were picking, it was a best of 5, and the teams lost every pick they made, but won every pick the other team made. It's bizarre. And I don't know. Some teams are just awkward, and some teams clash weirdly on different maps and change different aspects of how they have to approach things. So I don't know. We'll see if Saltfree can take anything forward onto Vicious Delicious, because if they give them breathing room on these mids, Pause is just going to absolutely mess their stuff up. And they're going to ready up on both sides, so we should see this game going live any second now. Okay, I've hyped it up enough. I'm going to watch Pause in this first mid. And if he gets like owned by a heavy or something, I'm going to feel pretty bad, but I'm going to be seeing what he's doing. I think I've seen, yeah, he usually goes top left or top right, and depending, looks like he's going to be top right this time. Or maybe he's going to go overground, but he's going to just be walking up. Players are kind of swarming. He's going to go, he's going to beat me to jump first, and then he's going to get thrown to Demo Man, and he's going to get thrown to the medic. He's going to cause loads of distraction. There's going to leave room for the rest of his team to move over the point. Jen isn't going to get picked up as medic. It's going to be backing just in the sword to survive. They've lost Pause for 2 players on the side of Saltfree, and that's going to allow them to take the mid and continue to walk this forward. I'm looking to cap it with Deft leaving to kind of try and take second. They've got the players up, but it depends on how fast Vicious Delicious push this in, on how well they're going to be able to hold this. He gets rocketed into Saw, and he's going to not be able to get anything done. It's going to be a trade in the favour of Saltfree. The players are actually pretty low and no buffs for the side of Saltfree. Dork forward is going to catch a Cure, and he's going to drop half throw. Dork's going absolutely ham right now. He'll be fighting Heaves. He's going to finally get shut down. Now it's going to be Heaves and Deft up. They did, unfortunately, pop that Uber charge out. Man, Dork just absolutely owned on that point, and I think he caught Hawthorne by surprise with that drop.
Our control point is being captured.
But actually, yeah.
It's a nice re-push coming out of Salt Free at the moment.
Yeah, do they have they have a forward spawn sniper, I believe. Yeah, this is a pretty standard play that a lot of Australian teams do at the very least. But we'll see if they push grass, because the forward spawn sniper can be pretty annoying to deal with if they do decide to push over the direction. But I think they're leaning towards pushing Saw. At least that's where they're holding right now. And the advantage isn't gigantic. The issue is if the sniper gets called out, like if a demo man just holds the spawn door, you're just a player down.
They have called him out.
Really, that's a shame.
They already know.
He does headshot Blank.
He does get the headshot.
He's gonna get out there from lower. And if I'm in this position, I'd be sure I'd just get off to scout, because if they're dumb enough to push grass after seeing the forward one sniper, it's kind of gonna be pretty silly. I reckon they'll push Saw and he won't have a room, but he's gonna stay on sniper until he leads forwards until getting back to scout. Which is an interesting play to make. He's just gonna be dancing around on point, maybe look to kill the scout, but he's gonna back up and still connecting any shots right now. I think he's trying to dome Blank on grouse.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pure actually rotates around into Cheese, seeing if he can actually get a headshot through into Saw.
He's not going to do anything just yet, except for that headshot onto Blank. He's just kind of taking his time, relaxing. And there is a scout on grass, but it looks like he's actually taking the room now. He's not going to connect his shot again, but he has a bit of room to maneuver around. But yeah, he's just moving back onto the thing. I think the play here is just wait for Kyo to get something, or get too forward and wait for Kyo, but Blank's gonna jump straight onto Halfrun, and Halfrun's gonna Uber that out really early. This is gonna be a lot of room for the side of VD, but Kyo on Sniper is gonna hinder their push even further than the Uber force has been. Pause forces on the return. He's gonna be walking this through the Super is a lot better, and they could catch Halfrun. Halfrun is so far forward. Halfrun should get cleaned up now if they don't beef it. Halfrun cleaned up by Catfish finally. Catfish is gonna get returned. Heebs is gonna die. Oh my god, Kureji Dome's Mink, and now it's just, yeah, he's gonna be backing up and dying, but this is a weird exchange goodness, how many names? Mink has died. It's just Pause and Tay up on VD, and looks like they're falling, but Blank is gonna get cleaned by good.
Deft also goes down as well, which means that when they push into last, they don't have any stickage from the demo. So unless he can get up in time and obviously set that up, he has respawned.
It does look like they lost a whole second. And actually it does seem like Tay's getting forward on the pipe. It might actually get, yeah, they're gonna back them up all the way to mid after that loss there. They've got a small Uber advantage, only about 10% though, and I don't know if they're willing to use that. They're all over grass actually, they're trying to pressure Dork, I think. And now they're just, yeah, they're kind of backing up.
Pause gets caught out, but he does take down Blank.
Yeah, Pause gets forward, cleans up Blank in an exchange.
Wiggins go down as well.
Yeah, this is brilliant for the side of VD. They should be able to break this through. Uber touch just come from lower. Gen or Mink finally does pop this out. They're gonna kind of try and keep Deft alive in this. The Ubers have faded, and it looks like Mink is trying to get out with Catfish on the store side, as they're probably gonna play second with their spawns. If they can get them, they're gonna get. Could they get the forwards? Ooh, it'll be close. They're gonna get the forwards. That should allow them to hold second pretty confidently. Oh my goodness, but pause? Yeah. Okay.
There does seem to be a pause.
Yeah, VD breaking grass actually right now in this, breaking grass with an even Uber thing. I think they're trying to play off the fact that they just got spawned, they don't have buffs, they might be able to take grass because they might not be in position to hold just yet, and it's an interesting decision to make, but Halfrung is in a bit of a position to be killed by soldier aggression, so he has to play it safe, maybe delay a little bit in dungeon before leaving grass, because it's always a death field of getting bombed when you're entering grass as medic.
One thing I'm really surprised about is there does seem to be a lot of deny on pause at the moment. Like I've said with this map, it's really quite comfortable for roamers, and the roamers haven't come much into play as much as I thought they would. I thought there would be a much bigger impact, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting to see. It's very much been a scout heavy game at the moment. Obviously, the demos, Deft has been chucking out a lot of damage so far during this game, from what I can see. And it'll be interesting to see how they push this, because, like you said, they're obviously betting on the fact that the red team doesn't have those buffs. But if they go into grass and they make a mistake, they could lose Hafrong or Deft, or like the key parts of the combo, and they may even lose mid if they do this incorrectly. Pauses. It's been unpaused.
Oh, yeah, we are live actually. Yeah, the ice skating plays for just a little bit. We're letting it get onto Mink on the left side. My big on the source side. Pause is helping him out, and Hyper and Orchid within a die. So just super far, and Sora's going to get killed.
Hafrong.
This is
Hafrong
super
down.
Hafrong died to Wigan. That's bizarre. Now they're kind of breaking into second. It looks like they've killed everybody. My HUD is broken right now, so I'm unable to tell. Let me just rejoin the server real quick to get that working again.
Okay, I'll try and cast for the time being, then I'll have to do that as well. So Dog does go into lobby. It does look like Vicious Delicious does decide to actually pick up a crits for the last push. Maybe looking to force Deft in to get a few kills and surprise the enemy team, obviously with that earlier Uber advantage.
Yeah.
But they're just waiting for the crits. They're just gonna hold. They're just gonna hold second. They're gonna make sure that no one can kind of get into lobby with Daft denying that area. We do have Dog on Cypher at the moment, looking to see if we can get an angle onto the medic. I don't think he's being called.
No, they
He does take down Deeps. Or they crits in with the soldier. Obviously swatching over to Depth for the time being, but he beefs.
This is awful.
That is an awful Uber. Crits, my apologies.
That's where the real pause was in real time, but yeah, that was just abysmal. Heaps up on the sniper, but Pause is going to clean up Wigan forward, and Kyo's going to die forward as well. Yeah, the crits, they got forward left, they lost a scout early, they missed their crits rockets, I think, and the stickies didn't connect. And then, I don't know, that was just abysmal.
They just got collapsed on. The moment that crits went down, the Salt Free called it, and they just collapsed on them.
Yeah. But people kind of, yeah, we've got people breaking mid already. They Ubered so early, I think they'll get a traps or maybe a sniper. Yeah, they've got a sniper. So Deft is going to actually die getting way too far forward and backing out Saw. They're going to try and probably walk this forward even further. Catfish already taking it through Saw onto the players who don't seem to know he's there yet. He's going to jump forward. He's going to get straight onto Halfrom, who he's not going to kill, but he's going to bring down to 100 health. He's going to give them room maybe to open a little bit. Mink is so forward, and Sword could get cleaned up by Paws. No, she's going to back up, and the players, oh, Halfrog's 15 health. Why are they so far forward in this position? The player ad is dwindled, and now it's going to be Paws to clean up Mink on grass. Paws being the saviour of the day, trying to make sure that this round isn't given for free. We're actually refighting with Deft from the lower point. They're arguing onto the player on point who's going to die. That's Wigan. Now it's going to be Heaves 1v1ing Dork on under. Dork hits a really nice early shot, but Kyo's going to shut him down from behind. They've re-push on that, was fantastic.
I do apologise, but currently I can't see the game as my TF2 just crashed. So just keep going for the time being.
Don't worry. And we're going to be walking through Deft actually taking heals, and with Heaves on the right side. Forward's not denying Kyo to break in through kitchen, but he should get cleaned up. Oh no, they're just kind of ignoring him while Heaves keeps an eye on kitchen. He is going to be behind, but there's not much he can really do. They know he's there. I don't know. He's maybe go for a back cap, but it's a bit too late, so just kind of has to hang around and maybe hope to Christ that they just forget about him somehow.
There seems to be a lot of the use of the pain train by the roamers at the moment.
Yeah.
Not something that's seen too much on EU.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Lang taking mid. Or he got spotted by Paws.
Yeah, a lot is happening. Paws is actually getting forward, and this is all the way to last. Actually, this could be the first round coming out. Finally, bringing the left side with 3 players down. If they can take the ground and get straight into Minku, he's going to die immediately. You're actually taking a fight with Hyper, who should get cleaned up. He's going to pick up Paws before he dies, but it's going to be the first round going in. And yeah, that's pretty weird.
That was interesting to see. The med and the demo were on completely different sides of the last. With demo on bucket and med near the truck, and they just collapsed because of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Does look like Daft's quicker. Much quicker.
Yeah, Daft's been, he's all the way to point before Wigan even shows up at mid. Their forward left on height for soldiers, and he's gonna absolutely deny the bomb from Catfish, and the health of Super Soldiers is terrible. Should mean they should get cleaned up early. Half-Wrong is gonna take a rocket, or 2 rockets, very close to death, and Mink is on such little health. Hyper goes down to Tay, and that's gonna be a wipe. Only losing a Roma on that mid-fight, that was really good. Now, they're just kind of walking it forward, getting the cap. This should be a last push. Maybe a sniper play could stifle some aggression. I reckon they'll be expecting that they might push under or under to right. I wouldn't walk left here because the start. Oh no, okay, it looks like they're just big balling it. They don't really care about snipers. I'll walk left and maybe Uber early around the corner. They haven't seen a sniper just yet, and Heaves is checking for it. He walks around the corner, they Ubered in. Heaves hitting bounce so far forward, and he's going to clean up Wigan. Really nice shots.
That 80% ad is so powerful right now.
Yeah, the 2 players going down, Wigan and Mink, are just going to make this really hard for them to hold on to it. It's going to be 2 soldiers versus 4. And they're slowly getting whittled down. It's Blank and Catfish. Catfish on 8 health versus 2 players, 53. They did a decent job in a 2v4, but it's not going to be enough.
They whittled them down from a full stack to only 2 players left, so they sacked in correctly. It's just an unlucky hold, really, for that.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, honestly, how they approach this game, because Paws did a really good job there. Both still just went top left, so Paws jumped them top left and absolutely owned them and brought them down both below 100, so their bomb was super ineffective.
Paws has gone into kitchen of the red team.
Ooh, my goodness, Soddy gets super far forward, but gets absolutely floated. That is Catfish by Cure, and Heaps going to be a win. We're actually going all the way in favour of VD without a return frag at all. Dork and Hyper are trying to back out. Dork gets caught out in grass, and Hyper's going to be 1v1ing players, but he's going to probably get caught out. He's trying to 1v1 Paws. He can get the kill. He does declare the last shot. That's going to be Mink out alone on 60%, and this is going to be probably a straight push, as they know they have the advantage. Mink wasn't healing. They're going to be breaking it through left right away with the player advantage.
Cure already in.
Cure's super far aggressive, stopping them from taking any ground too early. Heaps is going to take the super forward, and he's going to claim up Catfish as his first victim. They're going to be moving forward. The Catfish has come out, it's about halfway down. So he's going to get floated. Nothing's going to connect on him, but the Uber needs to come out, and they're not blocking the point. That's really sloppy. They're just going to recap it underneath their noses. If they stood on the point there and got the Uber charge, it was a really good chance of them winning that fight. But it just doesn't happen, and that's going to be the 3rd round, and the last 2 rounds have been significantly quicker compared to the really close first one.
Yeah, the first one was nearly like 10 minutes long, wasn't it? It's it does seem like poor Salt Free have kind of crumbled under the pressure that Vicious Delicious are applying on them during the mids and just generally the entire fight. As soon as they win, they're just pushing straight into second, not giving them a chance to breathe, really. For sure. This is a lot slower mid though at the moment. Tay does bomb in. Oh,
Hyper and Dork walking over at the same time do end up cleaning up like 3 players. It's going to be Tay and Half-Wrong. Half-Wrong is trying to get out lower. Catfish should probably get this kill on Half-Wrong if Wigan doesn't. Half-Wrong's all the way in grass, and Half-Wrong's trying to get the sword, but he's going to get 2 for 2 work. He's going to win the fight.
He's got it!
Interesting play.
That was so sloppy.
That was really awkward. I can't believe. And he kills. That's so dumb.
Did Catfish just kill himself off the med?
I know. I can't believe that.
Wow.
And they're just throwing players. Like, how are you gonna do that? How's that gonna happen? At least the Ubers are kind of evened out now. They've got the mid fight, but they should just brock it through with their player advantage. Catfish hitting it forwards, and Dork might get them in 6 for the cap being stacked. He's probably gonna deny that Dork respawn straight away. It's gonna be close. Yeah, he's gonna get spawned all the way back at last, which means that I reckon they might forward this through lower, which looks like to be their plan. Cure might get caught out here. No, he just gets rocketed once or twice and backs up into Saw. The forward on grass, and Catfish does aggro it, but only 1 shot connect. They need to forward these bits on grass here. They're giving them so much room to breathe. Scout on right is probably. Oh, he's taking a 1v1 with Catfish, and Catfish has to buff. Cure to duck, but half of it bombed and then absolutely smacked by Dork. Was that a drop?
He paused, bobs in. It's a drop for drop. That's pretty insane. Like, I don't know why Half-Wrong didn't pop. He was in the midair. He looked at the scout, but he still went down.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I don't know. Like, he got bounced. I think what happened was he got bounced by a rocket, and then Dork airshot him in midair. I don't know, maybe it was just tunnel visioning a soldier, not thinking that like anything else would have shot at him. But I don't know. In that position, if you're gonna like surf forward into the team in midair, you gotta pop your Uber. But
It was a really good reaction from Paws though. He bombed him when he saw the opportunity and did get 2 kills and the drop. So that could have been a lot worse.
That's definitely true. They're going to be walking through all the way. Actually, Hyper and Dork also combining yet again to pick up Cure and Death. Without heals, there should just be a straight push in the mid. He's just going to try and 1v1 Blank, and he's going to succeed. He's going to get cleaned up.
He was so low.
Yeah, Blake does die now. This is going to be... yeah, wait, we got Tate all the way in kitchen. This is an interesting play. If he doesn't get anything done though, this should probably be... Oh, can he hit the shots? He needs to get on. He's going to get floated. That's really a big shame, and Mick is going to need to survive. Can he keep up his Uber? Can he keep up her Uber? And this means Cure's going to be up on Sniper in forwards again. They seem inclined to be pushing Saw, so this isn't a super great position for him to be in. He goes a little bit of havoc. If they push straight up a ramp, he could do something. So he's trying to take a shot. They don't know he's here. They finally turn around, and now he's going to get off Scout. He's going to back to Sniper and back to Scout.
They do get a force out of red team. Salt 3 have to force.
Wow. Oh, interesting. Well,
Mink actually ended up on 10 HP, so if they didn't Uber then they would have dropped. It was quite an interesting
decision. Why is there stickies on the forward spawn that doesn't exist?
I don't know. Who knows? They're gonna reach it, and the Uber advantage is in the side of Salt 3, and the player advantage too, as the rumor has been killed too far forward. Looks like they're pushing lower. Maybe into kitchen. They know where they're coming from, so they should be able to get an early force. They're not even going for it. I think they're just backing all the way out and letting them have this, which means Wiggins is going to die forward, backing out in the wrong position. That means that 80% on Mink. It means that they're probably going to be able to.
Blank is in kitchen. He is what I think. Blank's going to go for a force. Cure does walk straight past him. He might be coming out of low.
Pause is looking for it.
That was unlucky.
Oh, they're gonna get the force onto Mink, but they're gonna re-Uber straight on after getting gets meat shot. Demo and Scout are gonna be pushing them back. They're gonna be fighting. They're just gonna take second, and they might re-aggress when they've got the player advantage. Well, they had the player advantage. They're evened out. When a hyper utility on last as engineer, Dolph might come up Sniper. Maybe no. Looks like he's gonna stay Scout. So, they're kind of just relaxing on last. And Dork does end up coming up Sniper anyway, so... yeah, I don't know, pretty standard stuff. It looks like they're building, both sides of the building, trying to get this Uber up.
Hyper going with the Eureka effect, NG pick.
He's been doing this in a couple of streams. He's like, actually uses it as well. He's
using it to teleport back when it's probably quicker for him just to walk.
I saw they Ubered in when he was building his sentry on a cast a while ago, and he used it to escape people because he couldn't have walked all the way back to spawn. That was a thing. He's stacking in there, probably coming up Sniper or Spy. I don't know, they need...
If he does come back as Spy, I hope for a better performance than Cure.
Yeah, that was a pretty sorry excuse, but yeah, he's back on the Sniper.
He comes back on the Sniper. And Dog Sniper as well, Dog.
Ooh,
Dome's Cure.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's gonna have some room to maybe walk forward. Hebs is up on Sniper, and they should be aware of that he's come up on it. Hebs on the train angle, and Dork doesn't connect his shot, but Dork's a very spooky sniper, so... And so is Hebs, so they both need to kind of be careful around each other. Dork's just kind of relaxing. Forward lobby, trying to watch left side, waiting for people to pick him. But yeah, it's just who hits their shots first to get him at the moment. Because Heb's just doing the head train angle, and he's going to...
He does take down Dork.
Dork, I don't know, it's so much harder to win that fight on the side of Dork, on like the red side.
There's so much protection for the sniper on train.
Now the sentry is still up, and the Uber hasn't got much done, to be honest. Dork's also about to respawn, so it's going to be about if they repush, but Catfish has no ammo. So they might be able to get on right for free right now. Soldier is up on right, and he's going to go really low, and he's going to get bounced around like
Med goes down, Mink gets headshotted by Hebs.
Oh, that's going to be really awkward. That means that they should be able to walk through. Hebs actually connecting a lot of shots. Not going to kill the air shot on the Soldier, but the damage has been dealt. The sentry is still up, and it's putting a huge wrench in the works for the pushing players. He's going to go down too. It's 4 players up, half wrong, Deft, K, pause. They've got a 50% advantage right now. And holding on his last, Deft is still walking forward. Ween is on such low health, and Deft is just walking onto the point. Half wrong and pause going to die. Catfish, Hyper. Hyper is going huge. Hyper is going to 3k as engineer. I think the first one was a while back, but Hyper is blocking the point. Hyper is going absolutely huge on his main, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty fantastic.
I think Uncle Dane needs to watch this space.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't see the engineer go huge very often, but he's going to stay on sniper and Blank. And Blank is going to get absolutely smacked. So now it's just, again, I think it's advantage on the side of Salt Free, but they've got to play it down. We'll see how they end up doing this. Paul's actually forward on grass, and he doesn't contested. No one's even there to show it. He's going to get straight onto Mink, and Mink's going to force.
Mink gets
as he also kills Hyper, Dork's going to go down as well. This is a disastrous fight for Salt Free, and are they going to back up? Are they going to fight it? Mink's going to get down by Pause, who knows that post health is really bad.
Nice fight from Deft.
Yeah, and now it's Deft trying to deny the soldier. He's getting soldier goes for the scout, which is a weird idea. Now Pause is all the way on the last. The spawns have come out, so he decides to try and back up a little bit. We'll see if it works. Now he's just trying to see what he can do. The scout goes under, and he's going to connect the shots. That's really unfortunate.
Pause managing to get out of that with only 8 health. It looks like Hyper has decided it's time to go back on Engineer. It is working for him, so I can see why he's making that decision. The Uber does come out of blue team though.
Yeah, sort of does get cleaned up on the far right onto the container. They get around to Wigan, who's doing a decent amount of spam, but he should get cleaned up. He hasn't died just yet. He's on low such low health. He finally dies. But Catfish gets forward and kills 3 players. Now it's just a Pause against everybody else. It's going to be a wipe. That was a really weird push that went really
Hyper's
poorly.
playing very strong on these last pushes. Even as Scout, he took out Deft and just he's clearing house at the moment. It's quite nice to see.
Yeah, no, you really need that kind of stuff on the side of Salt Free right now. They have 8 minutes and they need to start taking rounds, so we need to see them start pushing mid right away with this Uber advantage, trying to lose less players in these fights, but the sniper could make it a lot more difficult than it would seem. Catfish sees the sniper and Mink is scared to push it, but Hyper is going to get aggroed by Tay from behind. Tay should die. He does get cleaned up by Dork on the back foot. They've Ubered in through Kitchen on mid. It's a bit chaotic. He's getting out lower with the meta, trying to hit anything he can. Mink is in the sidelines. He doesn't connect the shot, sadly. He's going to be backing out of Dungeon. Blank is going to trade for Pause. And the trades are not what they're looking for right now. Mink is also not healing anybody and trying to back out Saw, and Deft is going to make that very hard for her. So she's going to be battling Deft. It's going to go finally down. That's Wigan and Hyper versus a full Uber charge.
That's a full add to VD, which hopefully I think they're going to push through lower and just take this all the way down, or it looks like they might do a left push actually.
Wigan dies to Hebs, but Hebs is going to get cleaned up by Hyper. Hyper's going to die. This is like the league of trades right now. The Uber has been up for a while, and they're looking to use it under, it looks like, right now. They're walking it straight in onto Cure. They're going to probably kill this sort of forward on lower, but it doesn't seem like they're interested in it. Catfish gets floated so high in the air, and now he's going to be on 20 health. There's no anybody to block the point, and they should get this right now. They do pull out another round, and this is very close to being a 5-0.
That was quite entertaining from half wrong there. He just stood on the point with the Uber saw out, doing like a power play, just saying, "Come get me."
Yeah, I don't know. The demo, like again, Deft is just absolutely so far forward. Like Wigan's doing the grass rollout, but it seems that it's not really working in their favor so far. He's not able to get the early spam onto the enemy demo. They're gonna add her over bottom right. Looks like a soldier tries to get forward, but Wigan's gonna lose a 1v1 to Deft. Yeah, Deft just bounces him and
goes in.
2 players down. This is actually working in the favour of VD yet again. He was walking onto Catfish, but he's not going to get the kill. The health is abysmal. I think there's a collective 100 health for the team there. Now it's just Catfish, and Catfish needs to go huge, and that's not going to be happening. So this could just be another round if they pull it out. They've got 5 minutes, and I kind of do want to see Salt Free take a round.
Yeah, I think they deserve it. They're not putting up a bad fight. It's not like a classic 5-0 complete wipe of like 15 minutes into the game.
For sure, the Deft is actually all the way forward on the point. They're ready to push. They're probably going to enter underneath, and Yeah, looks like they're a catfish sniper. That's so bizarre. We haven't seen that yet. Catfish on sniper, he's already off it back to the soldier, I guess. These scouts were too preoccupied, so he wanted to take it into his own hands. Cure's actually going to get forward and left and just take a lot of isolate deft. He's going to actually hit some nice pipe. Cure, and this is going their way, and that's going to be the 5-0. That was just a quick... I don't know, man. It's pretty sad to see.
That was just a quick round.
Let's go through the logs real quick. We have some people in the lobby and pause here. We'll go over interviews very shortly as well, but just quickly grab the logs. It was a bit of a roll at the end there, so I'm not 100% sure of what we're going to see, but it can't hurt to bring them up. Alright. Yep, I should put them in Mumble. And, alright, the first thing I'm noticing is... I'm gonna look at damage stats. Alright, damage. Tay went pretty huge in damage. It's 336 DPM and tops the server. Not a great kill death ratio, but doing a lot of work, allowing his team to walk forward, taking about 26% heals. I think that's a little bit less than he took last map, and I don't know, it was a bit of a roll in that last part, so the stats are obviously pretty heavily favouring the side of blue team. Vicious is pretty much dominating every statistic. Catfish, Hyper actually the only one who really matches anybody on the red team, bringing 20 frags and getting 200 DPM, but I don't know, overall I think Sunshine, they brought a pretty good showing, and then it was just, I don't know, after that it was a bit of an awkward situation where they were playing a team that was a bit stronger than them on a map they weren't preferring. So
yeah, no, there was a lot more strength out of VD in that game. They were making better decisions, and they were just controlling the flow of the game. But looking at the med stats, Halfrong did drop twice during that game versus the one from Mink. So one of them was a weird drop.
So there was the drop on second, I think was the first one I'm thinking of. I can't think of the other one. What's the other drop? I don't remember. Yeah, anyway, I think that's enough for stats. It was not a huge statistical game. We'll go straight into interviews.
And we're joined by Pause.
I'll drag them in real quick.
Hello.
No, I can't drag them
Pause.
And yeah, okay, so we have pretty much the entire team.
Oh yeah, BD roster.
Wow.
We have Tay, Pause, Cure, Halfrong, and Def in Mumble right now.
That's spoiled.
So everyone except Heaves, isn't it?
Yeah. Need Heaves in here.
Okay, so what do you guys think about the match? Let's the most basic question start of the match.
That was fun. I think our flank had a fun time. It sounds like they had a fun time.
Really enjoyed that game.
Really?
This is very strange to play. They had very odd play style. There was times where they'd send their entire combo to kill our flank, and then they'd lose last.
Oh, fair enough.
Interesting.
Alright. What did you expect? Like, did you... So, Sunshine was obviously a lot closer than Snakewater. What do you guys expect coming into the maps?
I think our Sunshine's been very weak all season. It's been one of our worst maps. We're not very familiar with it. Yeah, Snakewater's arguably our best map there.
Fair enough. Heaves is also in the lobby if you want to move him in. Wyatt.
How did you guys feel about sort of adjusting to the Sunshine playstyle? Obviously, it being such a constant that will hardly put in the seasons of ozfortress. How do you guys feel of kind of adjusting to that?
I think particularly early in the season, we had really weak pocket soldier Ubers, and we've started to fix that. So it's helped a lot on Sunshine, just having that as an option, because it's a very heavy soldier map. Often demo it was like, oh, look at all these walls in the way.
Yeah.
No, I did see you guys very much focusing on kind of keeping control of flowers. You never really pushed through flowers, but you always had it as an option during the game. You didn't really want anyone getting behind you when you were pushing through choke, or you did a lot of pushing through cafe as well.
I think when we've had mid control and we're trying to push second,
I beefed a couple of rocket jumps trying to sack, so I think we instead just tried to buff and then push flank and get a pick that way.
Fair
I
enough.
think that's more due to me being a noob than us being strong on flank.
Don't put yourself
Yeah,
down, man.
fair.
I love you. Everyone loves you, okay? I'm here for you.
I'm not gay, sorry.
No homo.
It's okay then.
You picked Snakewater as your map, and I thought that was pretty telling because it's like the map you guys beat Madmen on. Was that your first pick of the map, or was it previously bad? Oh, okay, fair enough. The third map was also Gullywash. Like, if it were to come to Gullywash, how confident are you guys on Gully?
Gullywash has improved a lot over the season. Like Process and Snakewater are two best maps, but our Gullywash is still pretty strong, I think, in comparison
we
to how
have-
bad our Sunshine is.
We have sometimes, like, it's relatively inconsistent, but we've gotten a lot better, like Kyo said. But, like, our main problem, at least at the start of the season, was just, like, Process was good because there's a lot of sightlines on, like, our players and whatnot, but Gullywash requires a lot of team coordination, so that was, like, the biggest obstacle for us, but we've improved to that. But it's not our best map. It's, like, probably middle of the pack. I think, as a team, we generally don't like Prolance and Granary.
Yeah.
The advantage we have on Gully against any team that's not Source or Madmen is Deft just crushing everyone on the mid fight.
We play a very
Pause goes behind, submerges everything.
like demo heal heavy style.
Fair enough.
Alright,
I saw there was a lot of focus on kind of giving Deft a lot of space to kind of throw out his DM. He had a lot stronger DM than the enemy Wiggins, so that was quite interesting to see.
We try to play a more demo scale orientated playstyle between our team. Like, our soldiers are just there kind of to support us, but we do rely on them for certain mids like Snakewater mid, like just making plays to open up ground for more of our scout demo sort of mids.
I'm pretty sure I saw you guys do a double bomb with your soldiers. Is that something you kind of favour more on sort of Snakewater mids?
It's probably accidental,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I don't think we coordinated that very well, but something I tend to do is just pretty much jump instantly. I think that's the best way for us to coordinate. Our comms are pretty lackluster, so if we go straight away, then it tends to work out.
I'm the calmest person in Mumble you've ever met, so it's definitely not coming from me.
Yeah, we were a bit shaky on Sunshine purely because all of our team members on the flank were just screaming and not being composed enough against an easy opponent in the eyes of us.
Oh,
Easier. He said he meant
That's
easier.
overreacting.
easier than
He's not a
Source and Red.
toxic person.
Alright.
They're a pretty top position.
Friendliest team out the window right there.
I think we'll
free.
end in 2 years. Alright there. I reckon if we keep going we'll be here for all night. So I think we'll probably move to shout outs. We'll go top of the list downwards. Def, do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to the enemy team. Great games. Enjoyed it.
Fair enough. Grumpy, do you have any shots?
Yeah, I have a shout out for Blob Chap, one of my mods. I saw him in the stream at one point, and Wiethoofd for setting this up and doing production as per usual.
Awesome. Half wrong, any shots?
Radic's not even watching this, but I love you anyway, Radic.
Fair enough. Heaves, any shots?
Big shout out to Roro TF. Saw him in Twitch earlier. So shout out to him, shout out to my team, shout out to their team for a good game, and looking forward for next week.
Awesome. Cure, any shots?
My mom, my cat, and Xander168.
Nice. Pause, any shots?
Quid, Ivan, Xander, Max. That's it.
Awesome. And Tay, any shout
Shout out to Grumpy's voice. I love your accent. Shout
Thank
out
you
to
very much.
Wiethoofd for producing. You did an awesome job, even though I didn't see it, but you usually do an awesome job. Shout out to Ivan's girl on public transport. Shout out to Xander for asking me to shout him out. Shout out to Crud for being an awesome guy. And shout out to Gullywash.
Awesome. Alright.
Nice.
I reckon that will conclude the night. Remember to check us out. The coming weeks, guys, we're covering all playoffs. We should have the intermediate stuff coming up soon, and the Open Grand Finals might be casted. I just look forward to Tier 5 in the coming weeks, because, yeah, playoffs is always a fun time for us. Thank you guys for playing, and thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a good night. This is us off. Thank you.
Bye-bye.